let's talk about different ways to increase the engagement within your hub. First of all, go through and like the different submissions as they come in. That helps people. It gives them that little, ooh, somebody liked what I did. It's very easy. You, of course, want to be connected to your hub as well, so you can see what's going on and so you can do it with your own family. Those adventures are going to come to your own phone as they come in and the notifications come in. Then just, go through every once in a while when you're in there. You won't necessarily get notifications of when people submit, but when you're in there, go in and like the different submissions, and that will encourage people to stay active with your hub. You could also spotlight different adventures on a daily or a weekly basis, whatever works best for you. For example, maybe this week is 250 smiles. You're going to spotlight that adventure, talk a little bit about the importance of that and the power of that adventure. You're going to put it in your social media and, if you have a newsletter that you send out or whatever, but you're going to spotlight a specific adventure. Now, of course, the families can do whichever adventure they want, whenever they want. They don't necessarily have to follow that, but it's fun. It's fun to have a particular adventure spotlighted, and that also makes it, as you're going through the feed, you're getting a lot of the same adventure coming. For example, this week we see a lot of historic landmarks visited, and makes it a lot of fun. And then, of course, think of the power of everybody. If everyone was focusing on that 250 smiles or 250 thank yous, and you have within that 1 week period hundreds of families that are going out into the world to smile at everyone you see, it could make for a really happy week in your community. I love the idea of spotlighting different adventures. There is also an adventure that we have created for you to help you get more families connected. And of course, increasing the engagement. Getting families connected increases the engagement. And this also is focused on helping those that are already connected engage by inviting others. That particular adventure is titled 250 Invitations Sent, Help Spread the Word. It is in draft mode right now. It is not visible to anyone, the users that are connected to your hub. But whenever you are ready for that and you feel like, ooh, let's do that one, you can go in, take it off of draft mode, of course, make any changes, read through it and see if there's any way you want to tweak that to be personal for your hub. And then you can activate that. Could also have contests and competitions. These work really well. People love competition. This could be like school versus school. Let's see which school can get the most people connected. And if you're doing it that way, then you may want to drop an adventure in that asks for the evidence. They are going to actually say in the caption which school they are from, which school or schools they represent. And so then you can go in and figure out which school has the most people connected, or however it is that you set it up. It could also be between classrooms, and maybe within a school, and the classroom is going to have a competition, and there's a pizza party for that. Okay, contests, competitions, this also could be different organizations that are competing against each other, however you want to set that up. Announce winners, okay? And we're going to talk about prizes in a separate video. We'll have some ideas for that. But announce the winners. When you have winners, announce it in the hub, announce it on your social media. This helps encourage, participation, and it gets people excited to continue to participate. Post pictures and announcements of the winning submissions. Kind of goes along with that same thing, but use your social media and post their pictures, just so that they do have, when they join the hunt, they have officially given their permission for you to use their submissions. Okay. And there is an adventure that teaches them how to do that without showing faces, if that's something that's important to them. So you already have permission. That said, I still like to reach out. It's also just another way to kind of build that connection and help build a relationship with the people that you serve. I like to reach out and say, wow, I really loved this picture, the photo that you submitted with this particular adventure. Would it be okay if we spotlight that in our social media? And then, of course, make sure that you give them an email address for them to respond to you, or a text, or however it is that you want them to respond. Because you can send them a message through the app. They cannot respond to you through the app. We will add an adventure that gives information on how people can contact you. And then, the other thing to just remember is you want to reward the engagement that you want to see. Okay. If you want people to share your hub, then you want to set up some type of an award or recognition for people who share your hub. If you want people to go the extra mile when completing the adventures and really put in the time and effort, then reward those submissions that show that they really got into the adventure. They really went to the landmark, visited, and had a discussion about it, and really did the adventure, versus the, oh, hey, we've got a picture of that. We'll just submit that. Okay. Which again, these adventures are out there for families to use. We hope that they will use them and get the most from them. But again, it's up to the family whether they want that adventure to be a 2 to 3 minute conversation, or a 2 to 3 hour, let's turn this into a family day trip. And then have a prize bonus adventure for those that like your social media sites and so forth. If that's what you want. We talked with someone yesterday that was they're really focused on getting people to like their social media sites. If that's what you want, then drop in an adventure that's how the evidence that they submit is liking your social media sites, and then reward them for that. Yeah, reward the engagement that you want to see. Those are just some ideas on how to increase engagement within your hub.